So why do we FOIL? Today I really want to focus on the why because I've found when I understand the why behind certain math tricks, it helps me, not just in foiling, but in my general understanding of math. I find it reduces the amount of silly errors that I do, and not only that, it actually makes math a little bit more interesting and understandable. So in order to understand why we FOIL, we first have to understand distribution. So we're going to look at this idea of distribution because that's all foiling really is. Foiling is just another form of distribution. So this is not usually how we start by teaching distribution. This is. So how would I distribute this? What would I do to expand this problem? Well, I would take my x and I would distribute it to the first term. And then I would take my x and I would distribute it to the second term. So let's write that out. So that would be x times 3x plus x times 4. And so to simplify this down using some algebra, I can multiply x by 3x, and that would get me 3x squared. And I can multiply x by 4, which would get me 4x. And so this would be my answer if I was just distributing a single x term into the 3x plus 4. So keep that in mind. Keep the x times 3x plus 4 in this method of distributing in your mind. And let's use this while looking at how we FOIL. So let's change it back to what we had before. So now instead of distributing just a single x, I'm distributing an x plus 2. So I want to distribute this entire thing into my 3x plus 4. So let's do that. So I'm going to distribute my x plus 2 to the 3x, and then I'm going to distribute my x plus 2 to the 4. Okay, so this is going to become x plus 2 times 3x plus x plus 2 times 4. And so now since I have another binomial, I can distribute, again, the 3x into x plus 2 and the 4 into x plus 2. And let's see what happens. So let's distribute the 3x into here. 3x times x and 3x plus 2. That's going to get me x times 3x plus 2 times 3x plus, and I can distribute this again, 4 times 2 and 4 times x, plus x times 4 plus 2 times 4. And so this is going to allow me to multiply this down. So I could get 3x squared plus 6x plus 4x plus 8. And we can simplify that down to 3x squared plus 10x plus 8. Well, okay. But how is this going to help me understand this? And so let me just erase a few lines and draw your attention to a couple things really quick. Hopefully you can see what I mean. So check this out. Let's notice something here. I have x times 3x as my worked out operation here. So x times 3x. Where do I see that in the problem? Well, I have x times 3x. Okay, well, what do I notice? That is the first terms of the binomials. Okay, well, let's look at the next one. I have 2 times 3x. Well, where do I see 2 times 3x? Well, oh, I see that right here. Okay, well, that's the inners of the terms, right? And then how about x times 4? What do I notice there? Well, that is right here, 4 times x. That's the outers of the term. And then lastly, no pun intended, we have 2 times 4, which is the last of the terms. So So that's the last. And so obviously they changed around the acronym just a little bit here because this doesn't say FOIL, but we can see there that what we have is we have the first, we have the outer, we have the inner, and we have the last. So this is actually a little bit of a helpful shortcut for us to understand that when I distribute something, I don't need to go through the work of distributing x plus 2 and then redistributing everything back into x plus 2. I can just simply come along here and I can say, well, I need to distribute my firsts, I need to do my outers, I need to do my inners, and I need to do my last.